Hello beautifuls, my name is Epic Treasure. Welcome to the channel. So this video today is to help you prepare for the new content for PALWORLD. I hope you find it helpful. There'll be timestamps on this because there's going to be a lot of parts that you already have. And there's a lot of stuff that you might not have. And just a reminder of other things to clean up on the way. So in the Discord channel, I'm going to pull this screen up now. This will be available for you to grab. And this has all the items that you need to grab for the things that you need to have at your bases as a careful guesstimate. Let's just put this on Do Not Disturb. Don't have to have Discord notifications. So that's in the Discord channel, link in the description below. And also there's a notes section too, which just has a quick rundown. Let me bring this one up. It has a quick rundown on what you need with the PALs, the passives. I'll bring it up in a minute too. So what you're looking at the moment is my base 7.0. It is a pure production base. It's an all-in-one base. I don't have to have multiple bases spread across the countryside or mega bases or anything like that. This works perfectly fine. It's in a beautiful location. It's in a great location if you're trying to get crude oil and chromite also. Very handy to have. So, lovely spot indeed. Now, at the moment, it is made purely for ore. So previously I had more breeding pens, etc. Most people that do breeding have, a dedicated breeding base. But what has changed in this base, if you've made it, is down here, temporarily, this circular lot of gigantic furnaces, right? So right now, I'm just grabbing as much ingots as possible, and while they still mine all the ore, because at the end of the day, you're going to need the ore. The ore makes everything. So as you can see, if you want to make ingots, refine ingots, you need ore. You need ore for the PAL metal ingot. You need ore for the plasteel. You need ore for the hexolite. So it's important to have a constant run of ore. But right now, what I'm doing at this base is I'm making tons of ingots too, because I can do it. It's just a constant flood of items. Then I put the guild chest here and then dump them in the guild chest. Then run over here, put the ingots in the machine, whack the money in there, and there's just pure money production. And this is where we come up to our vendors. And the first task is, and just hold off on building this base at the moment because we want to suss everything out first, but this is a perfect base. This is the one I always come back to. It doesn't have Hexolite. There's a Hexolite tutorial on the channel too. But these vendors will be lifesavers unless they change it dramatically. But this vendor in green here sells PAL fluids and high quality PAL oil. Now this is the guy that wanders onto your base and it'll say a visitor has arrived or something like that. If you see this green guy wandering around, and you can see him at all different locations, you catch him. And the way to catch him, if you haven't already, is get your Ring of Mercy on. And the Ring of Mercy allows you to get them down to 1 health. And then they don't drop on the ground and perish. If you have something like a Meow Meow weapon, that will ricochet off and it will stop that Ring of Mercy from working. So get rid of that. You can go nuts at the start, but just as you're finishing them off, then get rid of it and just poke with a melee weapon or whatever. Make sure your PAL is not out by your side, because if they are, they will destroy them. And Ring of Mercy won't work unless you're mounting the PAL. Personally, I think just put the PAL away is the safest option. So when you see green guy, you know what you're going to get. Then we have this guy here, Mr. Red Jacket. Mr. Red Jacket has ice organs, and he has high quality PAL oil. Now, a lot of people go, Epic, I just farm high quality PAL oil. It's really, to me, a waste of space to have a whole farm of whales flopping around and just to chop them up to get the high quality PAL oil when we've made copious amounts of money and just buy it from them. Bang, bang, bang. So I would stockpile that, You know, you're not tending to pals, you're not having space taken up on a farm for them. Why do that when you can just buy them? That's what I would do now. All right, we can just run back to this machine straight away, grab our money, and then just keep going and going. You could have more machines if you wanted to. There's plenty of pals going around. Like, these guys are already finished. So you just keep going and going and going. So if you had, like, you know, friends on your server, etc., they could just be doing the circle furnace server run that I've sort of made up here. And you could have it on, you know, multiple bases. So let's just do that. Make those. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm sick. All right. So the next guy that we have, and I'm going to take you to where these vendors are too. This guy here, he has the electric organ and the flame organs. He also has the important cake ingredients, right? So these cake ingredients are for the breeding cakes, the most important things. They're only missing honey, right? At this time, there's no vendor that has honey yet. It could change, but at this moment, there's a massive beehive up there. So usually I have maybe 16 bees constantly just making honey up there. It's nuts. So let's go to where these guys are. I'm going to go to the map. So remember the green guy, he'll wander around bases. You might see him at beaches or whatever, but he will absolutely appear if you have a base down here. You'll see him. Let me just take you there really quickly. The Plateau of Beginnings. And this is where you start the game usually. So down the hill, right now I've got like a trading base. So this is where people can trade their pals with each other that are like super amazing ones. So it's a very cool little community. That's why you should join the Discord channel. And then have a little trade-off, you know. So take whatever pals that people have that are maxed out and pimped out. So he will come onto this base pretty damn quickly. They wander on there, you catch him. You put that Ring of Mercy on, catch him. The next one that you want to catch is at the small settlement. He's got the red jacket on and he's in a tent at the end. So you put your Ring of Mercy on, you beat him down till he's at, you know, catchable health. And then bind him to your base, which I'll get to soon. So as you can see, wandering merchant with the red jacket. And he has those electric organs and flame organs, right? So you don't have to muck around and start chopping up pals to get these items. They're here. And as you can see, that prime production base, you don't need a 5, 6, 7 size super base with farms and stuff all over the place when you've just got constant stream of money coming in. It's I think the best way. The next one that we're going to go to is up here, that June Shelter. The June Shelter guy has the ice organs. He's also got tomatoes and lettuce and also the seeds for that. So let me just jump up on our boy here, over here. All right. This guy here. So there we go. Right, so it's got the high quality pallet oil and all that. This guy over here has just got the ammo, this green coat guy. Just make sure you name them. I call mine Iceman. Just so I know, because, you know, 2 of them have got the same colour jackets on. There's a pal merchant over here. You could catch him too. Sometimes they might have interesting passives that you might want to impart onto other pals. Not tonight, Josephine. So, that's how we get those vendors. Catch them just like pals. No different. Right, traveling back to base. The next thing on the list. Alright, moving on to the next part. So once you have your vendors, go up to your defenses, get your sandbag. Slap your sandbag down, have that built. Just like these ones here. And this is where we're going to sort of anchor our vendors. So we have our PAL monitoring stand. We slap that down. You probably know this. Skip it if you know it. And then we go into where they're binded, where they're bound. and we want to put those vendors on those sandbags. So we can easily find them. They're not going to be wandering around the base. So we can go bang, 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 grab those items. You put them closer together just so you can go shopping, shopping, shopping. Now with this base, at the moment, this is not how it's going to be all the time, though I am going to probably implement a lot of this, depending on what content comes out. And when that video does come out with the trailer, we will pick it apart. I will pick everything apart, just like last time. No problem at all. And sometimes just make a few other things while you're at it. We just grab those, make them, let them go deranged. So right now at this base, go there, because I've got a stone one over there. The list that we have for this base is, there's 6 tier 2 iron ore mining nodes, right? Let me just jump up on our boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could probably even slap another one there, but keep in mind, some people like to slap ore mines all over the place, and it's just, pals can't, there's not enough pals. Even at 50, you can make it, overrun with stuff, but they can only do so much. So 6 iron ore, so the tier 2 ones. So let me just get down here before I destroy everything. That's in the production section over here. And then we need 4 quartz. I don't need it, but I say yes. So pure quartz. We need pure quartz because they make the circuit boards. And when we have a look at Pocket Pair's history with Craftopia, you sort of look at how they evolve their tech. When you have a look at all of the trailers and things like that through PALWORLD, you can see that the tech improves, and we can see with the recent creations, they're much more sort of space looking, such as the Hexolite, the advanced chests and the advanced medicine workbench and the PAL pod, etc. So circuit boards, and also we'll get to the ancient civilization stuff soon, but circuit boards are definitely mandatory. The other thing that you're going to need will be, let me just bring this up on the screen, shall we? Go. 2 coal, because you're going to need the carbon fiber. 2 stone, because you're absolutely going to need the palladium. 2 sulfur. Now that's really only if you do a lot of ammo, if you use guns, etc. Which I don't, so I don't really need the sulfur so much. But 1 crusher and 1 logging. I found that I did run out of wood, so logging is just a nice one to have on the side. Now for me, this is for like per base. I'll take you to my pure mining base in a minute. I'll take you to the farming base, etc. But for your pals, the passives that you want for them as workers are remarkable craftsmanship, serious, work slave, and artisan. Now they're the main passives that you want, but for me, I like to have my pals working day and night, and you still need beds for them too. So ideally, I like to have my Anubises have like vampiric on or nocturnal on, or you could have pals that are already knocked ones, like Bushy over there, and they can have those passives on, as you can see, the remarkable craftsmanship, serious, work slave, and artisan. But if you love your Anubises like I do, you might like to switch out work slave for nocturnal or vampiric, if you can breed that into them. So that's on the to-do list, to breed, try and get that nocturnal part put into the Anubises. Okay, so the next part that we have is the Kindling pals. This is a little bit difficult because it depends on where you're at in the game. If you're sort of haven't focused on breeding too much, Yormantide Ignis they're a big boy, but they're quick and they do the job. Also, when it comes to watering, Phalaris Aqua does watering, and it also does transport too. We need watering for the palladium fragments when we've got them in the crusher. So they're the ones that I like to use. You might like to use different ones. People like to use all different pals. They might like the look of some of them. I like Wishy Nox personally. I like my Astigons too. Sometimes I like to change it up a little bit. So, and again, like I said, mine as much raw iron as possible. Because it's not, again, it's not only used for money to buy your stuff from the vendors, but it's also used for producing other things too. So right now I'm going to take you to my other base, which is a pure mining base. I'm going to take you there. Let me just get rid of this screen quickly. Bang. And then we'll have a suss of this. So let me fly above this one. So this is a pure mining base. It is sort of above and underground. Those mines are maxed out. It's maxed out with pals. So you might look and go, oh, you know, could fit more. You don't need any more. That is enough mines for how many pals there are. And right now there's a bunch of, as you can see, to the tier 2s up the top. There's also quartz down the left-hand side. There's some coal and logging, and then the furnaces there. So you just jump from base to base if you want to go nuts. And this one actually goes under, well, it doesn't really go underground, I've just built it up high. And then there's 4 beds in there for sleeping. There's the alpha beta waves there. And there's all the other stuff that you could put whatever bedrooms if you want to get decorating, etc. So that is the mining base, and it lights up at nighttime underneath. It's all lit through the glass. It's very cool. Watch the video on that one. So this base can be built literally anywhere. And I mean, it gets a little bit difficult with the terrain sometimes, obviously, if you're on a very steep terrain, but you can make it work either way. So this has got a big runway up to this castle that is basically the farming castle. And this is just a pure, and you don't need it. Let me tell you, you don't need it. This is for people that like to do farming. That's got a beehive over there. So there's, I think, 16 bees over there, and they're perpetually producing honey. And like I said, you need that for the cakes. So over here, there's just cakes cooking away. Grab this, and then we'll just make some soup. Grab your flour, etc. So watch the tutorial on that one too on the channel. And the rest will be history. So grab that. 28, and then get the hell out of there. Now the other thing that I suggest you do is have a breeding base, or just utilize whatever breeding pens you've got, and just keep making splatterinas and then disassembling those, because they've got dark fragments. So here, I'll fly above it in a second. Let me just grab these. So we'll grab a bunch of these. And then we'll just chuck these in the machine. And then grab them again. Alright. Then we'll have a PAL disassembly line over there, and then chuck them on there and chop them up and get your dark fragments. So let me just grab those girls. There they are. Put them on there and then get your dark fragments. Or whatever dark fragmenting giving creatures that you have. So let's just fly above. And he also, this wandering merchant will appear on this base too. So that's the breeding base. There's the farming one, and there's the mining one. So that's that part. Another thing to do if you haven't done it already. Jumping back to, we'll actually go to the Chromite base now. The Chromite base is located at -981, -1323. I'll show you the way to get into that in a minute. The Chromite base is, in my opinion, the best one. We get our smokey out. So we throw smokey out. Make sure you make a harness for smokey, because it has the ability of dig, dog, dig. And once we pump that, he'll reveal those Chromite nodes. Keep smokey out so you got extra Chromite. You'll get double Chromite when he's out. So there'll be 4 nodes around the place. That being said, in this cave, there'll be 2 purple chests. They often have the tech manuals in there. And you can also put your expedition station in here too. So over here, I've been collecting spheres sometimes. And that's another thing to do, is do your towers to unlock these expeditions. So this one here, Moonflower's Secret Hideout, allows you to get the high grade tech manual, ancient tech manual. This one allows you to get the PAL souls. I won't worry about that too much. This one here allows us to get crude oil and chromite. So that's a really good one to have. Auto assign, send them off. 7 minutes, by the time you start doing research and things like that. So we'll let them pump off there, and then we'll travel down to the Hexolite base, which is down here. The triple Hexolite base is something that you don't have to make fancy or anything like that. Just get your mining pals there. There's 3 Hexolite that appear there. Let's get our big boy out again. That's all you need. You just need a bunch of pals to just keep mining that and then just leave. No, they should keep doing it. So there's a tutorial for this. It's a very long one. I would not make it yet. Wait and see what the new content brings before you do any of that. Sure. But it's a really beautiful base, and it's a nice spot for when you want to go grab some Nightstar sand. That's another thing to do. So Nightstar sand will appear all around Faybreak. It also will appear up in the desert area. Let's just get down from here. I should just fast travel. I should know. But there are other bases too that are other base locations that have 2 Hexolite, for example, that are close to each other. If you've got a spare base, you just chuck it down there. That's what I would recommend doing. So just get your Nightstar sand. Some people have a base. If you have a base available to passively collect Nightstar sand, I would do that. So we can see that already here and here and here. Right. So I don't even know if I've got a spare base available. I don't think I do. Go grab some stone. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to build above it because the Nightstar sand often doesn't reappear. That was a test that I did over here. So for example, you could just go, all right, I'm going to put a base here. Chuck a base there. And then all you need to do is grab a storage chest, put it down there so they can put the Nightstar sand there. And get your transport pals, and they'll just passively just grab it all. So we go sort. Actually, Anubises will be fine for that. Just grab a bunch of Anubises, and they'll go grab this Nightstar sand. So just get a chest made for them though. Grab that. And storage, chest. And then they'll just go grab Nightstar sand. Once they go to sleep, because they grab it in the daytime. So you could have nocturnal traveling pals. Because Nightstar sand they can still gather in the daytime, strangely enough. We go sort, transporting. And then we can go find a noct. There's a vampiric one there. Let's get rid of the non-vampiric ones. That one is not. That one is. And sure if they can do it. See, I know Wixen absolutely can. She's on expedition. Let's see. On a big banger. 3, 2, 2, 3, 5. Here's the next edition. Got a 3, 5. There's there. So they'll eventually grab the Nightstar sand, as you can see there. I've already got another base over here. Where they're grabbing the Nightstar sand also. And that's another thing to do on the list. So grab your Nightstar sand. don't know where the hell he's. Guys, I'm asleep. So Nightstar sand there. That's something I would be doing. Another thing I'll be doing is flying around and doing the predator cores. The predator cores is a whole video tutorial on the channel for that too, where they are, etc. The next one, let me bring it up on the screen. The Hexolite triple base we've done. Send your pals perpetually off on expedition. So for every base, you should have an expedition station and then just keep them running. I'd be getting Chromite, I'd be getting spheres and crude oil. So for the crude oil run and the Chromite run, in the custom settings at the start, just ignore the fact it's sick and ulcerated. At the start, you can go into custom settings. You can change at any time. So there's a meteorite setting. It's a meteorite supply drop setting. If you set it to 1, they'll literally drop like every minute. Basically, they just constantly drop. You can see them happening now. So if you want to go on a crazy run, do that. Or you can, have your oil pumping machines, etc. Or use the expedition to get those crude oil piled up. Ranches, like I said before, get your bees on the ranches, create spheres. Like I've said before, I would make 100 exotic, 100 ultimate spheres, and 100 legendary spheres. In the PDF sheet, it goes into detail how much of all that stuff you need. The Chromite cave we've covered, the Nightstar sand we've covered. The breeding splatterinas to disassemble, we've covered that also. So let us bring up the Excel sheet, the total nerd. I'm just going to fly up so I don't get attacked. All right. So these numbers here go into exactly all the stuff that you need for one base. Let's grab this Excel sheet. Okay. So it goes to ancient civilization cores. So you can get those from expeditions. So you'll need to make the advanced sphere assembly line, you'll need that. For the large scale egg incubator, you'll need that. Then we have a look at the Hexolite, how much Hexolite you need. And these are the blocks of Hexolite. So I didn't particularly want to break them down too much because I know people at Endgame have already got them and they don't need it to be broken down. And then all the other items that you'll need, like, as far as wood and nails, cement, that's everything. This covers everything you need for a base. So it goes into all the numbers for that. So again, it's in the Discord channel, or you can just, I don't even know, you can freeze the screen. Off the last thing. No, it's not. There's more. You might like to pause it as you go along. And then I'll scroll down, advanced chest. Advanced chest. Oh my god, whoops. There. Okay, and then we'll scroll across. And down here, there we go, that would be easier. And get your research lab going. So be studying all those things, the research lab, they take ages. So, all towers, like I said, Chromite, farm it, crude oil, farm it, tech manuals. The tech manuals you can get through your expedition stations. You can also get them from the wildlife sanctuaries. These, they're on the ledges, they're on the bits of rock on the edges of those. We'll fly to one in a minute. I would suggest also breeding the Ozurks, those electric boys, and make them nocturnal. We're going to respawn. Make them nocturnal so they charge through the night. You need accumulators. That's in the list too. So the accumulators just store that power, electricity. Where do we want to go? We go to the wildlife sanctuary, didn't we? To go. Yeah, we'll go to you. Travel. The next one was catching the merchants, which we covered. Make ranches to bases. We've done that for the bees. Exotic spheres. Farm for food. Farm whatever you want. if you're into that kind of stuff. If you want better work speed, then make your minestrone soup or whatever it is. Predator cores and the Nightstar. We've covered everything. That's literally everything. And that's as good as I can kind of, you know, prepare basically to have everything. I would just go nuts and nuts and nuts and nuts making ore. Getting quartz, getting high quality pal oil. That's exactly what I'll be doing and am doing, and then just stockpiling it because they're kind of no-brainer things out of them all. So here we go to the wildlife sanctuary. Flying across here, these will have chests there. The chests will have the tech manuals in them. The tech manuals you'll need for the tech tree to unlock all the new stuff. I don't know how many levels that they'll have, maybe, I don't know, 5 or something. I have no idea. I'm not sure. But I do know that a couple of new things will utilize, I believe, not confirmed, the same materials as like the advanced sphere workbench. This is where you get your beautiful flowers from too. Don't be surprised if that's going to be a new item, which is, we're so sick of these. Let me get down here. So sick of these furniture things, these potted house plants and stuff, that I think that there'll be a potted red flower one where we'll be able to grow those red flowers, the beautiful flowers that are over here, because this is the only place you can get them from, besides destroying pals and getting them from their corpses. So there's a beautiful flower. So hopefully we'll be able to grow them because they look pretty. And then you just go and just run and then grab your boxes along the way. There'll be another one here. There's some others around the ledges I don't bother with because I keep forgetting it. And then there's another one that's usually, yeah. And then pop your manuals in the meantime. So you've got all the points in the world to use. I think that's everything. I think we've covered absolutely everything on the to-do shopping list, the ultimate shopping list for the new content. So I'll love and leave you. I hope you have an amazing day. If you did enjoy this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button for the live streams. Until next time, have an amazing day or night. And don't forget, those PDF sheet will be in the Discord channel and the notes too. Till then.